Welcome to another episode of Follow Suit. Once again, I'm your host, P.O. Today we have some very special guests. I'm going to have my good friend, longtime big sister, Tasha here. She is the owner of Freedom of Speak. Can you explain what that means, what it is?
So Freedom of Speak is a brand that I created, and basically what I want to do is bring awareness to freedom and encourage people to find their freedom, to be their true authentic selves, whatever that look like, and to no longer live in the fear of people's judgments or small opinions.
That's powerful. That's why I wanted to have you on. Then we got my girl, Big Jazz, to the right. Jazz, she's the CEO and owner of Crown Wine? Is that
Crown Luxury Wine.
Crown Luxury Wine. I got my first taste right now. It's actually pretty good. It's very good. It's strong.
It's 12% ABV.
Okay, so I understand about the conversation we had earlier. About you feel
Exactly.
Okay. No, because most people try to prioritize flavor with wine, but then it don't be strong.
True.
I need a good mix. A good
So
balance.
we got both here.
All right. So anything else you want to talk about? Why did you name it Crown?
I named it Crown because I feel like it represents me for one. Just royalty, power. Also, I feel like after a long day, you go home, sit on, that's your throne, that's your, get crowned, relax,
I respect it.
grab you a cup of crown,
Yeah. So shout out to you. Then we got the homie OG Philly Weeden here. Let's see. What do you got? Well, you're award-winning playwright. You got the Vogue Fitness Center. You got Muscle Bound Babies, right? You got everything. No, I'm just joking. But no, so definitely wanted to have you on because we like to promote like black ownership, black, just freedom, and just trying to push that forward, that narrative forward. So definitely was big to get you on here to talk about just how it is to step out on that branch. Because a lot of people, they want to do stuff, but then they be scared to do it. And then somebody like you who down to earth, who active and around in the community. So definitely wanted to have you on to talk about that too.
Appreciate it.
Anything you want to talk about with everything you got going on?
Nah, we can just roll.
All right, cool. So first thing, I like to always start the conversation off with a nice random question just to get everybody going. So first thing I want to ask, because I want to show people what our natural element, man. I don't want black people. People see black people, they see the killings, they see the violence and all that. I want people to see us in our natural environment, talk about natural things. So one thing I see on like Instagram, people always talking about, can't no man be in a relationship with a woman, he probably fucking her. Do you feel like it's possible for a man and a woman to have a strictly platonic relationship as friends? Just good friends, they can chop it all the time, tell their secrets, and not have nothing go on.
I do. I got a lot of male friends that I've never dated, never been intimate with, never looked at them like that. They might have looked at me like that. No, I'm just like.
But that
No,
comment
No, but it's
is
a
why
joke
people-
though. But if they did, they never gave me that vibe. You know what
Okay.
I mean? They never gave me that energy. I believe it's possible.
Cause I know some people who I saw grow up together, right? They was best friends like their whole life, never did nothing during that time. And they turn around and they get married, and I'm like, how did this come about? So what's your take on that?
I think that I know it's possible because I have many male friends and it's nothing there, never been anything.
Yeah.
They have women, in relationships and just we all cool.
How's that relationship with Dave significant other? With you,
Smooth.
y'all get along?
Yeah, everybody
She don't got no
get along.
judge, cause like you ain't ugly. So like, do they feel threatened when they see you, or how does that?
Not to my knowledge, I don't pick that up, so no.
Okay, and then what about you?
I feel the same way. Something like that though can definitely go one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the openness of the relationship that you have with them. Because if you all are just platonic, and it's just more so you and I are friends, we grew up together. So I can see how somebody like that can transition into being a marriage.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you know this person, you've been around for so long. Why not?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, in hindsight, I can see how it can work the other way, as we can just be friends, best friends because we know each other so much. We know what each other's been through. So it can work either or, but it's possible. It's
Yeah,
possible.
I agree with everybody because y'all friends of mine that, I can tell my wife, like, hey, I'm about to call Tasha or Jazz or whoever. And y'all not like my closest friends, but I got female friends who are like my right hand, and nothing would ever happen. And people like they dudes in the past were like, why you talk to that nigga? Is he like he like you? Y'all like each other? Like they be threatened by me because I'm opening, like I'm welcoming and stuff like that. But like I feel like it don't need to be that type of situation in relationships. But coming into that, where everybody being business owners or getting into your own business, how is it? And I'll start with you on this because this is when I see people online, like seeing people work out, that's like an intimate thing to see a man and a woman work out together. You were known as a very like popular trainer in the city. So have you ever had like, how is it when people do people try and come on to you as a trainer? Is it big to you to keep that line drawn? It's like, look, I'm not messing with nobody that I do my business with. Like, I'm not anybody that I train. I'm not having no relationships with. Or is it just kind of like that's my personal business? How do you feel about the importance of that?
It depends on the reason why you want to be a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the honest to God answer, because some people do it because they see how trainers live. Some people do it because they see how much trainers can make. Some people do it because they see how much attention trainers get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on your upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Most people have been or had attention all their life. So getting that kind of attention really means nothing.
Right.
Because you know that you have the advantage in that situation. So if you want to play, you're going to play.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to play, you won't play. Because you know 50% of it is trying to get your attention. So if I got your attention, then it's really in my court if I really want to pursue this or not. So, but if you in it because you want to make this your career and make it about your money, be about your money first.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you that if you decide to go left, what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays, people get outed. You know what I'm saying? People get screenshotted. People get videoed. So do you want that kind of attention on your brand? Or do you want to have the attention of, girl, if you're going to go to him, be about your business?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I know why people come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but my job is not to cater to that motive. My job is, you might come in liking me, but you're going to leave out with results and kind of like not, respecting me more. Because it's like, dang, he saw me, he knew me, but he didn't dive into that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you're coming into this because you really want to make a change in your life and someone else's about business, then be about your business. If you want to play and get money, that's a gamble.
Yeah, so pretty much it's up to your discretion, but it just depends on like, are you willing to deal with that? You need to know what's coming. What's at stake. What about you? With you being a young, somewhat young, I'm just joking. No, like an attractive woman coming into the liquor and wine and spirits business, people might open doors for you just based on attraction alone. But how do you feel like, what's the importance to you to set that standard? Like, I'm not messing with nobody in my industry, you know what I mean? Like, you want to set that line. You don't want people to think that she's getting this leg up because of the way she looks, or do you not care? Do you just feel like if I got a good product, I got a good product?
I definitely know how to, not mix business and I feel like just my demeanor, people know not to even, just keep it strictly business.
Yeah.
So my money coming first, for sure.
So period. Like, it's no chance. You're not even. You might see somebody and it's not even if you attracted to them. Like, nah, you got moves to make.
For sure.
Yeah. What about you? Because you a very like welcoming person. You know what I mean? You got a big personality and it's easy to get along with you. And I can see a lot of guys can be like, man, she cool, she the homie. But they can misread that, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times that happened with me. People would be like, oh, he the homie, he was nice. You know what I'm saying? He held the door for me or he gave me a hug when he greeted me. That's just how my parents raised me. So, like, how is that for you? If you, like, treat me the same way you treat another guy, I know the difference, but they might not. So what's that fine line for you?
So, my personality is big. I'm very outspoken. I talk to everybody. But guys, surprisingly, guys will try to approach me, but it don't never be like a direct type of, you know what I mean? So I'll use for an example, like like since I started my business, like I had guys buy merchandise that I knew, you know, and I just thank you, you know what I mean, and just kind of, you know, because I kind of felt like where it was going or whatever. But you just kind of, you know what you want and what you don't want, what you willing, you know, and when you see it, I mean, we not kids, you know, you can see it from a mile away, so you just kind of check it at the door, like.
But do that stop, like, are you able to, this for anybody, are you able to separate that line? Because, like, if you see what they up to, but you know in your mind, like, okay, they can like me or they won't.
But you don't have to
this all
entertain it.
business. Yeah, right. But this my business. So, like, say, like he said, they might come in liking him, and he might know it, but he locked in on business. So he's like, okay, you might like me, but we about to do this business. You're going to see results, and that's going to be all it is. Some people feel like if they know somebody like them, they won't even do business because it's like it's a hard cutoff. What's your take on that?
Well, I respect that person who's able to know that I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather not do business with you. Like I recently had a lady reach out for training, and she's like, hey, I know I said I wanted to train with you, but I'm gonna be honest, I can't train with you because I'm too attracted to you, so do you have another trainer that's available? I said, do you want a male or female? Like I didn't even
Entertain that.
acknowledge that.
Yeah.
You know, so she's like, well, I'll take a female. And then after I hooked it all up, I told her, you know, when she finally came to the gym, I shook her hand and I said, I respect you for doing that. Because a lot of people won't make that decision. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, okay, I like him, I'm attracted to him, let me see where this go. You know,
So try you?
Yeah, definitely. They'll definitely try you because, I mean, think about it. You're dealing with somebody in their most vulnerable state. So whether they're coming in there after a divorce, they coming in there because a failed relationship, or they coming in there because they got low self-esteem, they feeling bad about themselves, they don't like how they look, they want to change something about themselves. Regardless, you're dealing with somebody at the most lowest vulnerable state, whether it's a mindset or a body image. So for a trainer, it's a very, very thin line you have to walk because at any given moment, it can go left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now they see that you're giving them attention because that's your job. So you're giving them attention, and you're giving somebody attention who never had attention from somebody like you before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they see you as this other person. So they don't see you as a trainer. They see you as, man, I never would ever talk to her. Or I never would have talked to him. I never would have got that person's attention if I wouldn't have been here. Now they're touching me and they're telling me to do it like this, and they're encouraging me in a different type of way. I never got encouraged before. So you're, it's
completely vulnerable at that stage.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't never think about that because I had a question one time about like, do you feel like bigger women are more are they easier to like latch on to somebody in a relationship?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like it's easier to talk? Because even if it's a big woman and they beautiful and they got all this going on, like I feel like a lot of times their self-esteem might be low and they can be as cold. Like guys don't really care. Like if you look good, to most guys, you look good. But some women with who are bigger, I've noticed have a low self-esteem, and I feel like they latch on in a different way, and they take more pride in that relationship for any little thing that you might say. Like you might compliment them in a certain way, like, "Hey man, your hair look nice today."
But then again, though, you still, if you're doing business, you got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You have to tell them how they look.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You looking good today. You looking. I mean, because it's still a morale thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I have to boost your self-esteem in this situation that we have, sometimes I have to feed into that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have to play that role and know when to pull back. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you looking good today. Let's do a before and after picture.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, oh, snap. You know, but you just got to know when to pull that card and when to not use it.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. I would
Yeah.
say, yeah, definitely got to watch your words. When it comes to like being in that type of business or any business, like, do you feel like what's the importance to you to cut people off that's not beneficial to your growth? Like, you got a certain best friend that you grew up with since you was kids, but you moving this way, you got this in mind. You like, this is what I'm trying to do, but they going that way, and you still got love for them as a friend, but every time you talk to them, there's negativity about like, oh, why you trying to do that? Ain't nobody about to, like, everybody trying to sell shirts. Why you trying to sell shirts? You ain't gonna get rich off of that. Everybody got wine. Everybody want to be a fitness trainer. Like, that's negativity. Do you feel like cutting that negativity off is beneficial to your growth? Or do you feel like, you rather keep that loyalty with that bond with that friend over that. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Cut that negativity off.
Quick.
Yes. Doesn't mean you have to be friends with them anymore. Just deal with people accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
But who wants to hear negativity when you're trying to start a business or anything? Who
Yeah.
wants to hear that?
I agree, cause like some people can't handle, like if you cut them off because of that, they can't handle still being friends afterwards. You know, a lot of people would be like, oh, I ain't effing with him no more. He, you know what I'm saying? He acting funny because he got his show going. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to do, and you not encouraging me in the way. You're not like giving me the nourishment I need mentally to help me get to the level I'm trying to get to. And I just feel like a lot of people can't separate the two. Like I got friends that they friends for just kicking. I grew up with them. They my homies from childhood, but now I'm married, so I gotta hang with people. I don't gotta hang with married friends, but like I gotta hang with people who respect that I'm married. You know what I mean? Like I can't come out with you.
That's big.
I can't come out with you on Friday night at 11 o'clock and you just hit me up today about it. Like I can't do that. If I get drunk and I come home at 1, that's a lot of questions that don't need to be answered. Like I'd rather not have that conversation with my wife trusts me, but like I just would rather not have that conversation. But like, so do you feel like it's hard to cut those people off? Do you feel like friends take it the wrong way when you like, listen, man, this is what I'm up to. You ain't on the same level.
I think it's necessary, honestly, and it's necessary in business and personal. Like, if you cutting them off in business, 9 times out of 10, I had to cut you off, or I have to cut you off in personal as well. I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I'm the type of person, like, I'm always, like, I want to connect the dots, you know what I mean? Jazz, she got wine, if I can, oh, my friend, you know what I mean? Like your trainer. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's me. Like, but if my friend is doing bad business, I'm not connecting the dots, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be the link to bad business, you know? But I was explaining to one of my other friends, I was like, you know, I wish that I could do business with all my friends, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's enough money in our circle, I mean, enough of us in a circle, you know what I mean? Like, we should be able to benefit from each other. But the reality is everybody don't have a business mind, you know, and everybody can't do business. And some people who don't have that mindset, they don't, and they're not going to be able to respect or understand where you're coming from, you know what I mean? I'm in school right now, and people don't really understand, like, you ain't been outside. I'm like, no, you know what I mean? Like, they don't get it, but because they're not there or haven't been there or not trying to go there, their mind don't let them understand what it is that you're trying to do. So, like you made the comment about selling some little T-shirts. I heard that, you know, and it kind of was like,
Oh, I know. I'm sure you did, because I've heard it before, so I could imagine.
yeah, I heard it, and I was like, yeah. Like, for example, my first order of shirts was a very small order, and I was like, I'm just only gonna get a little bit of shirts because I don't even know if people gonna buy them. And literally, I didn't even tell nobody. Like, maybe a couple of people even in my inner circle, like only a few of them really knew. So as I was sending out, like when I got the merchandise in, I was sending out text messages like, hey, I've been quietly working on something. And everyone was like, okay, I'll get it. They didn't even know what they just, and I was like, dang, everything I ordered is gone before I could even, I don't even think I had texted my dad yet. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just like, when you have that negativity around you, you know what I mean? And you give ear to it, like, either you're gonna own it, you're gonna adapt to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna pick it up. And I feel like that was definitely a lesson learned for me.
Well, my biggest thing, like, I joke with you all the time, but like, I don't feel like you selling shirts. I feel like you selling a message. You know what I mean? That's the difference to me.
Well, the funny thing is, I mean, that you say that is because initially, when the vision was given to me, it was a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, I just want to sell T-shirts. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sell T-shirts, and you know, I'm gonna have different sayings on them, and I'm gonna do this, and this is what was in my mind. Why the name Freedom of Speak? I don't even know, but that's what God gave me, you know. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna just have different shirts that say different stuff, and to me, that was the speak part, you know. But recently, as I, like, through the years, like, I went through some stuff, and I just was in a different place, and I started to try to put it together, but it was just not coming together the way I needed it to. It was just, I couldn't get a logo, just nothing was happening right. So fast forward to 2020, I was having lunch with one of my friends, and we was talking, and I was telling her, I was like, man, this is what I'm really trying to do. I'm like, I've been trying to do this for years, but it's not happening. And so she was like, well, what you think your hang up is? And I was like, I need a logo. And she was like, and shout out to Ashley, because y'all know Ashley. She was like, well, try this girl. You know, she do cool logos. She gave me the info. I sat on it for like 2 weeks. I hit the girl up one day, just sitting on my couch. I just texted her. The girl texted me right back. She was like, what you want to do? I had this paper that I've been holding on for years that I drew this, right? As simple as it looked. Nobody, I mean, I spent so much money over the years trying to get people to create a design that they could not. But anywho, I sent it to the old girl. She sent it right back and was like, I got you. Give me a couple days. And in a couple days, the logo was designed. I couldn't believe it. And so ever since then, it's just been like.
So did it take for you to see your vision come to, you know?
It did. And one night, I worked third shift. I was driving to work. And I remember a few years ago, like I said, after the vision was given to me for these shirts, I remember I was in church and the pastor was like, you know, God showed me you speaking to crowds and speaking to people. And in my mind, I'm like, I ain't no pastor. I'm like, I ain't
But they don't gotta do that, though, yeah.
But this is how I received it. You know, this is
yeah.
how I took it in. And I was just like, okay, next. You know, like I didn't really receive the word. But driving to work one night, it just all kind of came like full circle. I was like, oh my God. And then people started asking me, like as of lately, asking me to do speaking engagements, you know, as I talk about the brand. And I'm like, oh, this is what it, you know what I mean? And so I was talking to Philly one day, and you know, he said to me, he was like, let me say it right. He said, if God says so, it's not a matter of if, but when, you know. And I was like, dang, you know. And so years later, here we are. And literally, I got my first order of merchandise in January, and I have been blessed, you know, not just to sell shirts, but just the impact and the conversations and the connections that I have been able to make and the opportunities. And people ask me, like, so what's freedom of speak? And then I explained to them, and this guy was like, you want to be on my radio show? And I'm like, me? You know, it's just like the doors that have been opening. Like, I just have been really blessed.
Well, that's big. Well, shout out to you for that, for just sticking to it. Because a lot of times, like, I feel the same way. Like, I feel like when people say to me, everybody got a podcast, what's going to make you different? I feel like I'm the difference. Like me, like my vision. People might believe in certain things. Like, I'm sure you had the same thoughts. Like, I'm a vision. I want to get to this level. I'm not thinking just working at this company. I see you was at Bali's, right? Or that's where you started at. When you were there, was your vision to always get to this point, or did it just happen over time from you just working and experiencing that?
It happened over time.
Okay, so you
first
did.
I just needed a job, and then I saw how beneficial it was. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I have to continue to work my way through the ranks. You know what I'm saying? So I can get familiar with each part of the business, and I literally worked each part of the business, from janitor to receptionist to pro shop to personal trainer to operation manager to junior district manager. So I knew what each position needed to do, you know what I'm saying, in order to be successful. So and that's what I did. So I just continued to keep working it, and you know, birth is you.
That's what I try and tell people who like they work these jobs but they hate their jobs, right? I'll be like, why? So if you go in there, you know this company, if they can pay you and all these other people X amount of dollars, they did something right. So why don't you pay attention to what they doing and pull something from that? Like, I worked in sales, and I learned how to, you know, get in contact with high-end people, high-level people. So I used that to negotiate with like liquor companies or branding companies to try and get sponsors. So I used what I learned from work and took it to my advantage in my own, you know, my everyday life, what I'm trying to do overall. So I feel like more and more people need to pay attention to what they're doing at work so they can try and grow for themselves. But at the end of the day, everybody ain't meant to be a business owner, like you said. People just signing off on LLCs, spending the money, but they have no. Somebody asked my wife. My wife does graphics. She made my banner. And somebody asked my wife, you know, hey, I need a logo, but can you give me a name for my company? And I'm like,
How you get a logo without a name?
how you got a business? You ain't even got a name. Like where's your head at? I had people who were supposed to start the podcast with me. We sat down back last January to write it down and what we was gonna do. And I was throwing out topics like what we should talk about, and they're like, no, niggas ain't trying to talk about that. You know, anybody trying to talk about relationships? I'm like, all right, you know, I had a vision. Like, I don't want to just sit and talk about sports, because then that eliminates y'all. Y'all not about to listen to that all day. You know what I mean? You might listen, but they not listening. So I wanted to talk about stuff that would just bring everybody together, and that's why I wanted to have you on, because you talk about freedom of speak. I wanted to create a platform where Black people in their natural element, no matter what they're going through, can talk about anything under the sun. Another thing that I came across back on relationships was, you know, I seen somebody propose, and it went viral. But then they dad didn't agree with it. The man didn't ask their dad. And I know you're very close to your dad. Do you have a relationship with your father?
No, not really.
Okay, well I'm sorry, I didn't know.
It's all right.
But so for you, if a man wanted to propose to you, and
Don't ask me if you ask my daddy. No.
no, but that's real though. That's real. Like if they don't ask your dad, it's a no go.
So here's the thing with that. So I was married before, and at the time, me and my dad didn't have the greatest relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my dad, that's my best friend. You know, he like one of the closest people, if not, you know, to me. So his opinion and you know how he feels definitely matters to me, but he's not the final decision.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And so when I got married the first time, the person I was with asked my dad. You know what I mean? But at the time, it was a respect thing. But like me and my dad really didn't have that relationship, and so I remember my dad he got out the car. We went to my dad's job, and I didn't even get out the car. And he went and he asked my dad, and my dad didn't like him. I already knew that my dad didn't like him. But my dad, you know, I don't know exactly what the words were, but I seen him, you know, do like this or whatever.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
got back in the car and we pulled off, and that was that. You know what I mean? It was a little shotgun wedding. Nobody was there, but I know that even if my dad said okay, he didn't really mean it. He didn't really approve
He
of.
said it for you.
Yeah, and I know it was probably his way of trying to make peace with me or establish a relationship with me. It was
Okay.
just probably him going along with what he thought I wanted, you know. But today, absolutely, if how my dad feels about the person I'm with definitely makes a difference to me. And again, he's not the final decision, but you know, I would be like, Dad, you know, well, what you see that I don't see, or what you know,
Yeah,
like why
yeah,
you feel
yeah.
how you feel, like that conversation.
I think that go a long way. I feel like your family, with anything you do, you know what I mean, like whether it's business, relationship, anything, I feel like you need to listen to other people because, I mean, not necessarily take it by the gospel, but I feel like you need to get some advice from people who you know gonna give you unfiltered answers. Like my uncle right there, he'd tell me like, no, that's whack, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, and I can listen to him because I know he's saying it from a genuine place. Do you feel like anybody can answer? If you feel like you come to somebody in your family, like you got a twin. If you come to your brother with a business decision or like a business or an idea that you want to come up with, and he trying to shoot you down, but not in a negative way, but just like, nah, I ain't feeling it, and this is why. Do you feel like you would take heed to that, or would you still continue to just go push forward and try to do it anyway? Would you take his advice on like, nah, I don't think that's a good look for you?
But that wouldn't be an accurate example.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't talk to him about it.
Okay.
If I decide to move forward in any business, there's 3 people that I call. And these are the people who I know who will see it from a different perspective than me. Because I'm just seeing it off of motivation, like, yo, I want to do this, and then they'll pick my brain. You know what I'm saying?
Like
and
why?
Then, yeah. And they're not. I thank God I don't have yes sirs around me. You know, because
Man.
if I did, I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're able to. They've talked me down off the ladder of some businesses, you know, that I wanted to do, and some moves I wanted to make. And you know, not right now. Yeah, I understand you want to do that. Not right now. And I'm like, why? I mean, but I need it. I want it. And they're like, yeah, now's not a good time. You know what I'm saying? So then when I do it, they be like, told you. You know what I'm saying? Now is a good time.
So was it hard for you to like, or was it easy for you to just be like, all right, I'm gonna listen to them? You know.
Well, I respected them.
Okay.
You know, I respect them because when I'm talking to them, I know they're not going to give me the answer that I want. They're going to challenge me. You know what I'm saying? So if I talk to them, they want the best for me. Whether that's if I want to move forward or if I don't move forward, they knew that if they said no, I don't think it's a good idea, that it was best for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Not because I wanted to do it. So me talking to them, man, I move any moves I make is in silence. The only people that know is the 3 people I talk to.
Okay.
Until now it's in fruition. Now I need your help. But because my thing is, once you talk about it, if it don't happen, then you still got the other people looking at you like, you said you was going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I keep mine under wraps until it's really time to break out, and then, you know, now the world knows.
Yeah, I feel that because
So I mean, it's a respect thing. It's
I
just a
try
respect thing.
I try to move the same way because I don't like people to be like I hate when people try to be negative because I know if I said it to you, I thought about this for a long time.
Yeah,
Like I mapped this
absolutely.
out before I brought it to anybody. So like in my mind, I know it's gonna work, but I need to help. I need to talk to you to figure out how I'm gonna make it work.
Absolutely.
Was it like that with you when you was creating your
I was
company?
just about to be like, I didn't tell anybody anything. I just did my research, you know,
Just
did my
popped up.
homework and popped out, yeah. I didn't tell anybody.
How was that a harder process? You don't have a team, like it's just
Just
me.
me.
You look yourself in the mirror. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it.
It's just me.
Is it more stressful that way, or is it easier for you that way? What do you think?
I think it's easier for me.
So one question I got for you, because I know you from doing like you did my wife's hair for the wedding. Like you do hair. That's what you do.
Right.
So is this more your passion now? Like are you
Oh, no.
hair is still your
Yeah, hair is definitely number one, always number one. But this is the second foul love. But hair number one for sure.
got it. So one thing I always think about with people like definitely like us, and I imagine you was like that at some point. People who feel like they good at a lot of things, it's hard for them to be successful at something because they trying to do 10 different things at once. Like, how was that process trying to narrow it down? Like, this is it. This is the one I want to move forward with. This is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna stay in this lane, and then I'm gonna use this lane to build up all these other lanes. Was it hard for you to get to that level? Was it hard for you to find what it is that you wanted to do? Like, what was that like? That process like trying to find out what drove you and what you wanted to focus on the most?
You ready?
With me, one business helps all the rest of them.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm gonna do anything, it has to be related to what I'm doing, so that everything can grow, everything can prosper. Again, I have to, because my visions are so big, I need people. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be here. I can't. It's impossible. I need buffers. I need people to be able to who they talk to, so they can come to me with whatever the answer is or the question is. But I know it's impossible. It's impossible for me to be able to run all of these businesses at the same time because they're all individual, but it's needed for the one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's impossible. So I need a team. I need people. I need help. I need support. I need all of that. You know, and I'm the first to tell them. You know, like I just had a conversation with somebody on last week. I forgot what day it was, but I had to tell them. It was like, hey, I need to cut down, do this, do that, and I was like, look, let me tell you something. I was like, the way all of these businesses are, like it's gotten so big that I can't do it with myself.
Yeah.
I need you. You know, and I was like, if you got to cut your hours back to still be able to handle the business, do that. But I need you.
Yeah.
You know, and they was like, wow, I really appreciate you saying that because nobody ever really told me that. But I'm telling you because I do need you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at first, my ego got in the way. He's like, hey, in May, I need to, and I'm like, oh, okay. Long paragraph. I just said, oh, okay. Definitely no. So now I'm going into protective mode. What can I do? How can I do it? I'm like, man, I can't do this. I can't because my first reaction is to always look out for me.
Yeah.
Always. So I'm like, okay, so what I'm going to do? All right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm like, I can't do that. But I can't. So I had to really, then a couple of days later, they came back with, hey, okay, I thought about it. Maybe if I can just do this and do that. And I was like, that's fine. You can do that. But I need you.
Yeah, I need you to help me.
Yes. And that was the answer. So so your question was, I do. I mean, one business helps all the rest of the businesses. So it's impossible for me to do it myself.
So you gotta have that nucleus, and then everything else can stem from that.
Everything, yeah.
I feel like that too, cause when like I'm the same way. I don't like to, like with the show. I don't like to. Somebody like, why don't you just get a camera and record it yourself? Why don't you? I'm like, no, man, no. Look, I want to show up and talk. I don't want to be thinking about all this other stuff. I don't want to worry about that. I want to just come up and do what I'm supposed to do and leave. When we was doing the play, like I don't want to worry about teaching people where to stand. What's my lines? Where I need to be. All right, let's go. Lights on, let's go. I ain't trying to do all the extras. It take away from my vision and my creative process.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
if I can't be me, if I got so many distractions, I'm not gonna be able to do this the right way. And I feel like that's like the main thing. A lot of people need to focus on what's the core of what they're trying to do. Like I did a lot of things. I took a lot of L's and stuff like that, but like I always stayed true to who I was at the core and what I wanted to do. Now with the podcast, I feel like, this is where I'm at with it. I got executive producers to help me with all the other stuff because I was trying to take too much on and it was just getting stressful. So I feel like that's healthy for your growth to just be able to just focus on one thing and then, okay, once you establish that this is running, this is a well-oiled machine, now I'm gonna bring that second business you talking about, the next business. So I think, you established with your hair, now you got your wine, then from the wine you're gonna be doing whatever.
Because it's possible. It's all possible. It's just that, again, you're not giving one part of the business 100% of you. You know what I'm saying? Because in order for that business to be successful, you have to be invested in it.
Yeah.
You can't put $20 here, $20 here, $20 here, $20 here, and expect for this $20 to make $200,000. It's impossible.
Right.
Because you have to be fully invested into that. So yes, grow this business. Once this business have a leg of its own and it's moving, go to this.
Yeah.
Because now you're not needed as much here. You know what I'm saying? You can go here and grow this one, and then move on to this one. So like hair. Then from hair, but once you got your clientele, your consistent people coming in, now I can focus on the wine.
Yeah.
Because y'all gonna be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not going nowhere.
Yeah. Let me focus on this wine. Let me grow this, and then from here I can move on to whatever other dreams I have or other aspirations I wanted to do. You can do it. I mean, you can have multiple businesses. It's just that you still need to take the proper time to grow each one.
Yeah. I seen an interview with Rick Ross, and he was saying, I don't care about how much time it takes. I want to make sure it's the right amount of time. Like, it got to be the right time that we spent to do it. I don't care if it's 2 days or if it's 2 years. It got to make sense. If we're not moving in the right direction, then it don't make sense. The time don't matter if we're doing it incorrectly. So you got to move with the proper, strategy, strategically is what he was saying. So I think that's major. Like, is it hard to trust people with your dream? Like I had people in the past always let me down with certain stuff, and my wife would say like, yeah, that's because people don't care as much about your dream as you do. You know what I mean? Yeah, they can support you, but if you lose money from that dream, they not gonna care. They not willing to put, I gotta put $100 down to hold this venue or whatever. They not willing to do that. You willing to put your last on something you believe in. They like, nah, So is it hard to if you bringing people in to help you run these businesses, is it hard to trust somebody with your dream, with your baby?
Well, with me, I'm sorry, I can take on the question.
No, it's all good. Whoever, yeah, go ahead.
Well, with me, you have to, one of my statements is you have to have a business of your own. Because I feel that you will be able to answer and dictate and move and help me if you're thinking like a boss. Because if you're not already thinking like a boss, you're going to be making decisions because you might be in your feelings. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a business of your own, like everybody who helps me with decision making, my assistants, everybody, they're all entrepreneurs. So they all have a business of their own that's very successful, but they're willing to help me to bring everything up. So I know that if they say, hey, they need to handle something, I know that they're going to do it for the best of everything. It's not coming from a jealousy spirit or a hateful spirit or just an emotional spirit because they're in their feelings today. No, they're still going to think like a boss because they're in that situation themselves. Yeah. So no, they just have to be helped.
I feel like it's hard for people to play a role, to accept a role. Like some people feel like I need to be the face. Why you feel like you got to be the one to always talk or you got to be the one to get the attention? I feel like you need to know either your team or your friends, whoever that is. I feel like you need to know who is good at what.
But that's a process though. You can't come in the door wanting this. You have to learn through it. You know what I'm saying? I learned all that the hard way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking just because this person was next to me 24 hours that I can use this person to do this. Mm-hmm. Nah, because this person don't know that. Right, you know what I'm saying? Just because they're there don't mean that they're in the right position. You know what I'm saying? So you just man, it's trial and error. It's trial and error. My advice that I give most entrepreneurs in their ass, I say, man, you get people in your corner, not because they're your friends. Mm-hmm. Never do that. Get them in your corner because this is what they do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you do computers, then you're going to be helping me with anything dealing with internet. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or software or something like that. I'm not going, because you do computers and put you at the front desk,
It
Because
made
you
no
know,
sense.
yeah, because you don't know nothing about, being hospitable or, the mannerisms that you need to answer the phones, and because in order to be that person, you have to be a selfless person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be in your feelings. I can't put somebody who don't want to be in the back, who don't want to be in the forefront, in the front.
Yeah.
In the forefront, because they're not that type of person.
Right.
Like, hey, put me behind the scenes. I work my best when ain't nobody knowing I'm back there.
Mhm.
Let me do my thing. But you got me up here smiling and shaking hands with people, and I'm like, man, I didn't want to do my hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to put people in the position of what they actually do in life, because that's the only way you're going to be successful, because you got people you're pulling from who actually do this and what they do.
I think that's big with black businesses in general. Well, all businesses, but the main thing that you will see with black businesses be like, yeah, I like what they do and I try to support, but man, their customer service was bad. And that's the number one, I can't stand that about like a lot of companies in our culture, because people just be like, they don't know how to talk on the phone. They don't know how to be professional, you know what I mean? So like, I know a lot of people who, especially as adults at this stage where we at, people would say like, I drive an extra 20 minutes for a good service. I pay extra money for good service. I'm not about to go, I don't care if your food good, I'm not paying if you was rude. So like, why do you feel like that's a problem with our culture? Like, people can't be professional, can't be on time, they can't be courteous. Like, why do you feel like that's the main problem with our people as a whole?
That's rough.
Cause you in the hair business, so like, I know barbers are, my wife said all the time she went to go get her hair done. She had an appointment at 2 o'clock. I should be able to come in at 2 o'clock and get seated. Like,
Right.
why am I waiting till 4 o'clock to get seated? Like, I can understand if you booked, but why do you think that stuff like that happens?
Well, I don't operate like that.
Well, I know, but I'm sure you know people who do.
But,
You're successful because you don't operate like that.
The only thing I can think of, to double book your stuff like that and have people waiting, is money. The love of the money.
That's all it
And you know about your clients, you don't care how they feel or nothing.
is.
The money.
So people care about more about the coins than
That's
the
it.
people.
Because they know, listen, if you don't come, somebody else gonna come. It don't matter.
But my thing is like, if you thinking like that, if you prioritize, I mean, obviously you got to make your money. But if you taking care of people, and hair probably a bad example because it's a different industry. But with like restaurants, if you nice to your
But
people,
it's really not though.
it's not. Explain.
No,
Because I don't know.
Even in hair school, they taught us the experience is everything.
Mhm.
So if I'm trash and I'm rude and it don't matter how good I did your hair, you'll be like, I ain't never going back in there though. She was so rude.
Mhm.
She was so unprofessional. Nobody want to deal with that.
Yeah,
So it's the same.
got it.
It's the same.
I ain't never, like I said, I ain't never ran no salon or.
And they bash us hairstylists.
They do.
All the
They do. I see. Well, but let's be clear.
It's,
People ain't giving y'all a good look out here.
Yeah.
Fighting clients because they held them up and charged them an extra $100 because they made them wait for 9 hours. I seen it on YouTube. I saw it
You're right.
here in
We
this
seen
city.
it. We all seen it.
Okay, but exactly.
So
So
for me, I think about I don't want to sit in no shop for hours. So I'm impatient.
yeah,
I think about that with my clients. Like, I don't want to be nowhere waiting an hour before I'm serviced. So I don't do people like that.
okay,
The wait is hardly ever touched, She only been a few times, but I don't never have nobody waiting.
Mhm.
You in and out like clockwork. So people love me for that. Like, I know Jazz gonna get me in and
yeah,
out.
yeah. If it ain't right on time, you move.
Right, I'm moving.
Okay. Well, when people need to wait, they can sip some wine going forward.
Exactly.
We there.
and
yeah.
leave with a bottle or two.
Yeah, leave with a bottle or
A
two.
couple more classes.
It's a full experience. It's a full
You
experience.
know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that's
Yes.
that's a major thing though. Like, I feel like our culture don't do enough of, just taking care of their own people. It's always some type of
We
like,
so entitled,
we are.
and that's why.
Yeah, we are entitled.
Everybody got a chip on their shoulder.
People feel like they gotta try and like shit on somebody.
Proof, yeah.
Yeah, like-
prove themselves.
That ego,
Cause like, say if I be like,
just
hey man, you see Tasha, man, I shared this video. You see Tasha, man, she killing it, man. Her shirt's going off, her brand going off, Philly killing it, Jazz killing it. Somebody might come on there and be like, oh, little Jazz from back in the day, man.
right.
She wouldn't even know all that back in school. Why do that matter? Why do that?
Right,
Why do you feel like people like to hate when somebody doing something? They don't say it about people who ain't doing nothing.
Self-esteem issues, inner issues, don't have nothing to do with the person.
Yeah, cause go
There's
ahead.
something wrong with you.
Definitely.
Cause I feel like, man, like it be people that if you met the person before you hated on them, then you be like, cause like, all right, say for instance, like, it was a girl I dated a long time ago.
I'm trying to save
Let's be
yourself.
clear.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to say this.
It wasn't when he was dating you.
No. We talked about this earlier though. Me and my wife talked about this earlier.
Way before
Like,
you.
long. But she had a baby father. I didn't know him. I didn't know him at all. But like, I was at a party and he happened to be there. Now he knew who I was, but I didn't know who he was. We was at a party, we had a mutual friend, we chilling, we kicking it, we chopping it up. They keep saying my name, then it registered to him, like, oh, that's the dude that my baby mama was messing with. So he went back and told her, like, yeah, you was telling me about this nigga Perry, this and that. I wanted to fight, I hated him, right? Then he was like, I met him tonight. So then she was like, oh God, what happened? And he like, oh dude, cool as hell. Like, you know what I mean? But like, I feel like people, like if they get to know the person first, you would know it's like, it's not much to be hating on people for. That's why I brought that story up, because I feel like people quick to hate on somebody before you even get to know what they stand for, what they about. And that's like, I can't stand that type of
Even
energy.
that though, what they've been
Been
through.
through, right?
Yeah,
Story,
yeah.
what it-
Through,
yeah, what
I mean, it
took
takes a
you to
lot
get
to be
there.
successful. It takes a whole lot to be successful and to stay successful. It takes
Yeah.
more to stay successful. So, I mean, yeah, people, I mean, I don't know, people run into it, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you either feed into it or you don't, you know what I'm saying? People, it takes a special type of person, man, to build a business, to even step out there to have a
Yeah,
business.
but make yourself vulnerable.
Yeah. So you're gonna get. I mean, that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? In today's society, people talking about you, it just comes with it. You just
Yeah.
gotta know what to feed into and what not to feed into. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they talk about what you got, you work for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Talk about your business, you still got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can say what you want to say because you look stupid talking about me.
Yeah. Cause I'm good. I ain't worried about you.
Yeah, not at all.
And I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it because I'm big on like, because it take a lot to put yourself out there and just post it on social media or wherever. Like, this is what I'm doing. Support me. Believe in me. Now I'm one of them people. Like, it don't matter to me what somebody say. I'm gonna be good. Like I've always been good with just like brushing it off because I always had an inner confidence. But I know other people who like shut down. They fragile. Like emotionally fragile. And their business can't function because yeah, they got this good idea. Yeah, they good at it, but it's like they can't take. Like they read the comments. You know, that's a bad thing to do. If you on social media, you get a lot of comments, and then you know, like our video announcing that we about to have a baby, it went viral, right? It got like 5 million views for this video. People on there showing love, and my wife is trying to read all the comments. Oh, they really showing us love. And then somebody comment like,
One.
yeah, well, and so,
Yeah.
like, so my wife like, why would you even, like, she get to arguing with her. I'm like, you can't do that, man. They ain't got nothing better to do. Like, and that's a bad thing to do for people just to try and read. And, like, just listen.
And
Just
some
take it.
people is on there just for that purpose.
Yeah,
to
to get
say
that out of you.
mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they do. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand how people are built like that. Did you have any things that you want to bring up that you wanted to talk about that's like important to you, like culture wise, business wise, you know, relationship, religion, anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head. I did want to say in relation to what you just said about our people, it's big. We hear it often, women empowerment. And I'll be like, I ain't really feel empowered. You know what I mean? Like some of the meanest females in the city be having these women empowerment events. And I'll be like, but you said.
You know why?
You know?
Because, like, I think it was you that said it. They looking for the money. They don't care about
It's a
it.
business.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And so, but it's a lot of women that need to be empowered. You know what I mean? It's a lot of women that really need a push, you know, somebody to listen to them, somebody to just hear them, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
to motivate them or whatever. And you just never know how much you can help the next person, you know, by just being kind, you know, by just being nice or even just telling your story. Like, it takes nothing. I remember being at my first quote-unquote women empowerment event. And the person, I was working with somebody, she was a vendor, and she asked me to go ask the host something. And I was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm with such and such, such and such. And she was like, hold on a minute. And I was like, okay, she busy. I'm gonna give her a minute, you know what I mean? And so I went back to her again, and I was like, you know, she need blah, 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 whatever. And she was like, I'm talking. I was like, Now see, hold on, cause
And
see, I'm
she was hosting the event?
yes,
See,
and I was
yeah,
like, now see, cause I was trying to get you a professional, cause I'm representing somebody, you know, I said,
Mhm.
but, hey, cause we adults, you know what I mean, and I'm like, and you're not really giving me you're not giving me nothing kind, like, this is your event, you know what I mean, so, I expect to get welcoming love, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and I didn't get anything, Karen Civil was there, and, she was so busy like running behind her, you know what I mean, like catering to her, and I'm like, but it's people that's in your city, you know what I mean, that's gonna see you every day.
'Cause it was a
and-
big name. I can't, like, somebody, I ain't gonna lie, like, I reached out to somebody, right? I'm like, hey, you know, this is my show, here's a highlight of what I do, this is the professionalism that we come with, this is the type of stuff that I'm trying to talk about on my show. Would you be interested in coming on my show? They like, yeah, I got you, yeah, okay, a couple weeks. Man, I hit them up this week, like, hey, you still good for the 25th? What's the 25th? I'm like, the podcast, we supposed to do the podcast, but this person recently released something, and now they trying to big time me, because I ain't like a big, because I feel like, cause they were like, oh, I gotta go somewhere for my niece all of a sudden, but we booked this like a month in advance. But I feel like if I was like Ryan Wolf or somebody on the radio, you know, they would have made sure that they was here. Why is it so hard for people? Like, do you feel like you get a lot of easy yeses because of where you at now as opposed to where you started? Like, people was turning you down, or, you know, turning their back on what you was trying to do, or trying to connect with somebody and build with somebody? Was it harder starting out as opposed to now?
No, I mean, I've always been not a devil's advocate,
Mhm.
but I honestly, like, I don't see that side of stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I know it's there, but I don't see the hate. I don't hear the hate. I mean, it don't even it doesn't faze me one
Yeah.
bit, because I'm not doing it for them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it for whatever reason they saying. I mean, I've been in rumors since I was 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? So a rumor today ain't gonna do nothing to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The rumor is not gonna stop me. The rumor is not gonna make me say something to you. The rumor is not gonna make me slow down on what I'm trying to do. So I just don't indulge in any of that, man. So I can't even answer that question.
Okay, no, I feel it, because like I said, I feel like a lot of time big name people, they quick to turn down. Like, if Jazz wanted to say, hey, I'd like you to promote this wine on your show, to somebody who was known, they might be like, oh, I don't know who you is, what kind of following you got.
No, I mean, that does happen. I mean, I'll take doing stage plays, for instance.
Mhm.
When I started, of course, I had all local talent.
Mhm.
So now I was like, okay, it's time for me to branch out. I want to go to the Playhouse. I'm gonna need some names.
Mhm.
So I'm like, all right. So then I started, watching the circuit or whatever. And then I was like, oh, Terrell Hicks. I watched her. I was like, okay, let me reach out to her. You know what I'm saying? So my first reaction is to go on Instagram.
Yeah, right,
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
yeah.
everybody's on Instagram. So I'm like, so I Googled, Terrell Hicks, and then I saw her resume, and I was like, oh, this about to be tough. So then I was like, okay, on Instagram, I typed in Terrell Hicks, and she came up, and I sent it. I was in church, like, it literally took me, man, probably about a week, because I was just afraid of hearing no.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was sitting in the back of church one day, and I was just rocking. I was like, forget it, I'm about to send
Going
this
for it?
Yeah. So I sent the message. I'm like, hey, I'm Philly Weeden. I left my website. And again, everything I do, I try to have I want to have it represent me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just sending you some BS artwork, some BS,
Oh, right,
BS
right,
look.
yeah.
The marketing package is there. So when I send it to her, a couple clips, and I was like, you're my first national name. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to know, And she replied 10 minutes later. I was sitting in church. And I was like, she replied, and she's like, hey, Philly, great work. I love how you, I love what you represent. You know what I'm saying? I love what you're doing. Please send me the script. I'll look over it. And so after that, it's just pretty much how you present yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you coming off like, like the big names, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get the no's. You're gonna get the it costs this.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Or you're
And that's
gonna
fine.
get and that's fine because you just gotta have the attitude like one day you want to contact me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the attitude I had when I first went to the Playhouse. I went to the Playhouse, very first stage play. Before I even did it, I said, I might as well do it at the Playhouse. Why? I don't know no other places. I might as well do it at the Playhouse. I contacted them. They was like, you ever acted before? I said, no. You ever wrote a stage play? I said, no. They said, it's your first time doing a stage play? I said, yes. Nah, and I was like, okay, cool. So I went to Cleveland State, and each stage play sold out. So now when I contacted them 3 years later, they was like, oh, Philly Weeden, how you doing, man? Hey, you wanna come on down here, take a look at some of these theaters? And I'm like, and when I shook the dude's hand, the whole time in my head, I'm like, you don't remember telling me no. Like to him, it's just a business move.
Right.
But to me, it was personal because you told me no. It was you. You know what I'm saying? You told me no.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm sitting in front of you, shaking my hand, grinning, and I was like, oh. Well.
That's, I
It's
mean,
funny. Oh,
go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, because he said eventually they'll contact you. So, in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna have a pre-Mother's Day brunch. And I recently went out of town, and as I was going through the airport, I saw somebody from the city that they got a big name for themselves. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm a friendly person. I'm like, hey, so it wasn't on no coat right. You know, I was just speaking. I'm like, hey, and they was just like, hi, like.
New
Who is
York
you?
kind
Yeah,
of,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, and I ain't think nothing of it. I went on and got on my flight.
Right.
You know what I mean? And kid you not, I came back Monday, so maybe like Tuesday, I got a DM like, hey, like nice to meet you, something. Do you have any more vendor spots at your event? And I was like looking at the message for the longest, like, this could not be the same.
Right.
Is this like a
Yeah,
spam or something?
right.
Like, this couldn't be the same person that just, and I'm like, either they didn't know who I was, or I don't even know how you know what I mean? But you knew who, when you seen me, like, oh, that's the same person.
Right.
But again, it just goes back to that kindness thing. You know what I mean? Like, we not bigger than, you just shouldn't even carry yourself in that manner.
Absolutely.
And,
But why do you think, because I hear so much about women, why do you think the women are like that? Like,
it's that crab in the barrel. Like, I don't know why they're that way. Because, and I say because I don't think I'm that type of person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm rooting for everybody. I really want to see strangers who, if I know you know what I mean? Even people that I don't mess with no more. Like, I'm still clapping for you, So I don't know what it is. I don't know. I like Jasmine said, I think it's something within. I think it's something within you internally that keeps you from praising or promoting or even just being able to clap for somebody else, you know what I mean? Whether you got anything to do with it, whether it's from afar, just showing that love is like something inside of you is keeping you from being able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with y'all with like, cause when I approach people, I'm not like starstruck by nobody. I feel like only thing difference between me and you is the amount of people that follow you. And, and if you're a celebrity, your bank account. But like, mentally, like I'm okay around anybody. So when I approach people, so like you were saying, you was going back and forth for the longest amount of time before sending that message. What I do, I go to Instagram too. And I'll be on Instagram. I give my wife a disclaimer. Like, listen, I'm about to be up on my phone. I'm not texting nobody. You need to listen. I'm working. So I'll be on Instagram all night. I swear to God. If you see me on Instagram at 3 a.m, this is what I'm doing. I will find a celebrity, and I look at who they follow. And I find somebody that, because if they might follow like 100, 200 people. I look at who they follow. And then I'll go, okay, let me see what type of affiliation this person got with them. Okay, this person is getting a lot of attention from Floyd Mayweather. But this person only got 10,000 followers. I'm going to inbox this person. Hey, looks like you have some affiliation with Mayweather Promotions. I want to reach out to you about getting something scheduled with him. What's the proper way to go about doing it? And that's how I would get information. And I never reached out to him, but like, that's how I learned that from my job, though. My job showed me how to navigate and do sales type of stuff from that. So I picked up on that, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start looking at the person that they connected to, because you can't just email Nori trying to get on Drink Champs. You gotta, you know what I mean?
Proper chat.
Yeah, you gotta go through the right person. So you know what I mean? I just when I listen to podcasts, I'm not listening just for what they talking about. Like on shows like Drink Champs, they name dropping people every time. They be like, oh yeah, this person over at Nike, they helped me with my thing. This person at Def Jam helped me with their deal. Pause. Okay, who's this person? How many followers they got? Then I hit who they follow. Then I shoot an email. And like he said, you can't just email them with this regular thing. You gotta have some type of branding package that's doctored up and all of that. And I did that with a few liquor companies, and I'm interviewing one of them next week, and they scheduled a Zoom with me, and they told me the breakdown of how to get more. And it's just like, you got to be mindful with that type of stuff, because it's like, I email a celebrity at 3 in the morning, or I might Zoom, because I'll be having them same doubts, like, man, they gonna ignore me, whatever, but I shoot it out, go to sleep, I wake up, I might get a red, I might get a, hey, this is how you go about it, or, I always get some type of response because the way I present myself, you know what I mean? Because they understand, like, okay, he's not just another person, just another fanboy trying to, you know what I mean? He actually came at me in a correct way. So that's how I try and go about it. Like with T again, he was very cool. He was open to talk to me because I approached him in like a generous way, So that's just my advice to anybody who watching, who trying to do business. I ain't the most successful, but I'm trying to get there, So shout out. Anything else y'all want to cover before we wrap it up? Anything that come to mind? No, nothing you want to vent about? Nothing. All right, it's cool. Look, I'm just asking. I'm just asking before I wrap up. I like to give people the floor. I don't want it to be all driven by, what I want to talk about. No? All right, well, hey, I appreciate y'all coming. Shout out to Crown Luxury Wine. It's very good. I might have to buy one of these off of you because it tastes good. I've been trying to get one for months. And she been big timing me, bro. Like, I ain't
she definitely was big time.
She like, you gotta get a ticket for the raffle. I'm like, fam, like, I inboxed her, it said scene. It said scene on the inbox. Let me on red, man. I'm like, man, no, I'm playing. This is my girl, man. She showed me love. I was trying to wait till we got to this. This is why I wanted. I didn't want to just have it and not drink it. And I mean, I was gonna drink it, but I'm trying to promote other people like us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just, support in a small way. Any way I can do to promote it. Like, I tag everybody in everything I do. Like, I posted every post promoting this episode. You can get tagged because your shirt, the people who made my necklace, they getting tagged. Your wine, you getting tagged. He getting tagged. Like, he getting tagged. He filming it. That's how I'm trying to do it. Like, trying to promote black owned. I'm not, you know what I mean?
That's how I feel too, like what I said about the circle, you know what I mean? Like, this is my friend, but my trainer, and we bump heads and fight all the time. But like, when I started my business, I was like, hey, can you be my business mentor? You know what I mean? Because even outside of training, like if I didn't train with him and know him personally, like I just got a respect for him in a business, how he handled. I'm smart. Like, who made him think of that?
But that's big though, because normally people who get to where you got from the hard work you put in, they not willing to come on a podcast with somebody they barely know, or they not willing to just like, oh, okay, yeah, just do this and you'll figure it out. That's how people be. Like, oh yeah, focus, do your research, you'll figure it out.
Right.
But you'd be surprised like how many people are willing to help you that don't even know you. Yeah. Like, what is that? Clubhouse?
Yeah, it's Clubhouse. Yeah.
So somebody, I don't even know, but anywho, I ended up on there and I hated it. And I guess the app was so new, it was no delete. So I had to email the company like, can you please take this off of my phone or whatever? And so they were like, we haven't figured out how to delete it yet, blah, 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 but we received your request or whatever. So one day I was driving home from work and I don't know what made me, but I listened to it and I was on there for like 5 hours. Like, no lie. Like the people, the conversations. It was a guy, like, they wanted to bring everybody to the floor. That's what they call it. They we want to bring everybody up here on the stage. Like, everybody that's in this room right now, we want to give them the platform to talk. And so when it was my turn, I said what I said. And then a dude, they was like, what's your Instagram? We want to follow you, whatever. And it was a guy, like, he hit me up and was like, hey, is you just trying to sell t-shirts, or you got a boutique, or what are you trying to do? And he gave me a vendor list. This vendor list got about 500 vendors on there. Like, and
somebody you don't know at all.
This man don't even live in Ohio. Like, he's like, I think he said, I don't know where he said he lived at, but it ain't here. You know what I mean? And he was just like, he sent me a vendors list, and he was just like, I just asked that you not he was like, I asked that you not sell it.
Yeah.
He said, but if you want to share it with somebody, I don't mind. Just make sure it's somebody that gonna do the right thing with it. And he was like, this is the same people who use like Fashion Note, like all of these different big names, he was like, and I was just like, dang. But, the people that I have in my circle, like, you was talking about teams or whatever, I don't have a team either. Like, I feel like Jazz, I make my decisions by myself, I come up with stuff. I do got my brother, shout out to him, Antoine. I call him and I be like, what you think about this? And he shoot it to me straight, I'm like, no, don't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah,
Don't,
yeah,
that don't look
yeah.
good or whatever, But whether I roll with his decision or not, you know what I'm saying? I know I can contact him or,
Trust
just
his
bounce
opinion.
my idea. Yeah. And so, it's been people like when I was trying to find a vendor for like good quality shirts and stuff like that, I was asking different people that I seen in the same industry, and they was like, my person not taking no new clients right now.
I can't stand that, man.
I was like, dang. And then I asked Philly, and I was like, who do? And he, in like seconds, like, tell him I sent you. You know what I mean? And it's just
It
like,
ain't that hard.
it's not that hard. And it's really enough room for everybody at the table. You know what I mean? It's enough money out here for everybody.
If you creative enough, it ain't no competition. Like my shirt, they message ain't the same as yours.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it don't gotta be that. You know what I mean? Like I listen to podcasts and they promote, like the ones at the top, they promote other podcasts within their same little circle. You know what I mean? Like if they under Black Effects, anybody under Black Effects is promoting somebody else, and I don't understand why people locally, you know what I mean? We can't grow because they like nah.
Well, hopefully one day we get there.
Ain't no. I don't like to say hopefully. We getting there.
We
Like,
gonna get there.
That's how I look at it.
One day
Like,
we gonna get there
I think we getting
as
there.
a city.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
getting better.
I ain't worried about it as a city. I'm worried about the
Yeah,
people
as
I
a
know.
I mean,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
He like, I don't know. I don't know.
it's hard for me to ask for anybody to. Like, I'd rather ask somebody else to ask somebody.
yeah.
Because people put the gate up real fast because I'm viewed as competition or I'm viewed as something else. So I don't even put myself in that situation. I'm like, hey, go talk to someone.
Well, you know what though? I can say for you, like we was in a play with Pastor Johnson, and you was there. That's big. You know what I mean? Other people be like, I ain't going there. I ain't about to buy a ticket to come to another play. I make plays. They should be in my play, but you was there. Like I remember meeting you there, so I'm just like, that's big to see another black man supporting another black man on something that they do in common. It ain't no.
Right.
It was genuine. It wasn't no hate. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that.
No.
So
I mean, it takes it takes a special person. For me, the reason I'm the way I am now when it comes to offering help or giving people advice or anything like that, because I was once in that position where I asked somebody, on Facebook, before I started doing stage plays, all that, I asked them for help. You know what I'm saying? They posted up something, and people commenting, they're replying to it. I commented, hey, yo, I'm trying to, get mentored or talk to you about something, right over me. So I'm like, that, like I know what that feeling feels like. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I told myself that day, I was like, from now on, when I get there and people ask me for anything, I'm gonna tell them because they still got to do the work.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you because I know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? I know what it feels like to be shut down and somebody asks you just for genuine help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People will view you as competition and they'll shut down. They'll be like, oh, I'm not gonna help you because nobody helped me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's not the approach, because who's gonna turn that around?
right, who's gonna stop that cycle?
Yeah, who's gonna turn that around?
Cause like with me, I don't need you to do it for me. Just point me in the right direction.
That's it.
Like show me where I'll figure it out. Trust me.
Yeah.
If you show me where I need to go, I'm gonna find a way to figure it the hell out. But
Mhm.
like people, just like you said, they want to keep that revolving door going. Like, look, I got treated this way.
Yep.
You gonna get treated this
Yep.
way.
I mean, I got out the mud. Okay.
Right.
I don't want to be in the mud.
Right.
I ain't trying to get in the mud.
Mud.
Tell me how. Tell me how to not get in the mud. Since you from it.
And a lot of people don't. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say they was talking about the culture. Like, well, help the culture. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
They don't, man. Like they refuse to. Like, and people don't like to listen to on in reverse of that. Like, you can tell somebody like, listen, I went through this. I did it all the wrong way. You don't want to go this way. This is what you should do to cut all of this out. They like, oh, you still working. They don't want to listen. But it's like, all right, well, I tried. So it's a negative thing both ways, yeah. Because it's like some people don't want to help you, and then some people don't want to take help. So it's like, we gotta do better, black people. Look, I care, you know what I'm saying? If I can help, I'll help. Period. But appreciate y'all coming, man. It was definitely had a good time talking to y'all. Appreciate you stepping in, bro, helping out. Crown wine, this is good. Crown luxury wine, this is good. I appreciate you. If I needed a lineup, I would come to you, but I don't know. Freedom of speak. I appreciate the shirt. Thank you for finally. I feel legit finally. I've been waiting.
You coming to brunch?
I'm waiting. When is the brunch? Today?
It's
Huh?
May 8th.
May 8th?
And make sure you be there with your wife.
I could. Oh, she love brunch. Yeah, she pregnant. She 8
Oh,
months.
she definitely want to come.
Yeah, my wife pregnant. Like
Oh, yeah, bring her.
we on the clock.
Bring
So
her.
yeah, we moving too. So We got it. It's May 8th?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good.
It's the Saturday before Mother's Day.
All right.
And Southern's all you can eat, so.
Okay, where's it at? Where's it at? No, this is.
I'm gonna get, it's
I'm
near the West
sold.
25th Market. It's in that area.
It's like outdoors.
No, it's inside, but it's in a loft. It's in a loft space.
I gotta dress up like both sides. I want to
No,
get
you
dressed.
don't gotta, wear what you want
I
to
wanna
wear.
get
Be
dressed.
free.
I like that.
I like it, right? So yeah, right? Yeah. Be free. No, okay. Text me, remind me, because I will
For
come. Yeah, Philly. Shout out to the Boat Fitness Center. You still doing plays, right? All right. So
Soon as the world opens.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm sure COVID kind of, but see, that's what people keep you moving, man. He ain't held down by that. So yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to black-owned businesses. Shout out to Expressions 222 for the Cubs. Shout out to Love Ladies Cakery Bakery for always hosting us here. Shout out to my executive producers, Alon Robinson and Andre Littlejohn. Follow suit the podcast. As a culture, we've been dealt a bad hand, and they expect us to follow suit, but we're gonna change the culture. We're gonna change the narrative for that. So appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.